Hello and welcome to our Flip video lesson 2.06, The Real Rome. And the links for the recordings will be here in the PDF when I finish this recording. Learning objectives of this lesson. Analyze Roman art and architecture to find out about life in the Roman Empire. Define bread and circuses, Circus Maximus, Colosseum, Atrium, and Aqueduct, and identify the Aeneid as the most significant Roman epic poem and Virgil as its author. Introduction. Facts about Rome during the time of Caesar Augustus and beyond. Student guide questions, student guide pages 322 to 325. Important vocabulary, you're going to use this vocabulary to help with your understanding of the lesson. And then your Human Odyssey reading pages 381 to 391. A quick note, it is really important to make sure you are completing those reading pages, as all of the objectives will all come together through this flip video and through your reading pages. So it's important that you do complete those readings to help you with the understanding of this lesson. Introduction 2.06, The Real Rome. What was life like in Rome? The wealthy had fine food and luxurious homes with indoor plumbing. Even poorer people had access to fancy public baths because the Romans engineered systems to bring millions of gallons of water into the city. But unemployment was a serious problem. How did the emperor keep thousands of people without jobs from rioting or rebelling? Bread and circuses. Those circuses were not minor productions. They were held in a stadium large enough for 100,000 people. The Romans even staged mock sea battles in a city arena. Rome experienced a golden age for literature as well. So go ahead and open your student guide to page 324. In question number 1, why did Augustus and the emperors that followed him want to keep the people happy? The emperors knew that if the many poor and unemployed people in the city became restless, they might riot. Question number 2, what was the Colosseum? The Colosseum was a gigantic stone oval amphitheater, 3 to 4 stories high, which took about 10 years to build. As many as 50,000 people could watch games and other spectacles there. And you can see that's a good replica of a lot of our stadiums today. Question number 3, describe some of the games and spectacles that took place at the Colosseum. In the Colosseum, specially trained fighters known as gladiators battled each other to the death. Some carried a heavy shield and a short sword. Others wielded a trident, a dagger, and a net. Wild animals from all over the empire and beyond fought each other. Sometimes man was pitted against beast. Men hunted and fought exotic animals, lions, tigers, leopards, elephants, even polar bears, to the death. Some armies reenacted military battles and naval combats. So it definitely was not, rated G, as we may say in these days. It was definitely a sight to see. Question number 4, what was the Circus Maximus? The Circus Maximus was the largest of a half dozen circuses in and around Rome. It could hold 250,000 people. It was a U-shaped structure that enclosed long racetracks where the empire's finest charioteers competed against each other in two-wheeled chariots pulled by 4 horses. So a chariot is kind of it's almost like a cart, and then someone sits in it, and there are 4 horses in front of it, and they race. Almost you could kind of think of our Daytona 500 as a comparison, but instead of engines, it would be with horses. Question number 5, what is an atrium? An atrium is a large, airy room inside the main entrance of a Roman house. In question number 6, describe the homes of the wealthy Romans. The homes of the wealthy often had fountains and a garden, as well as an atrium. Wealthy Romans adorned their interiors of their homes with all sorts of artwork. They had walls painted with mythological scenes, landscapes, or still lifes, and floors were frequently decorated with mosaics. Statues also graced the homes. Some houses had indoor plumbing. And we take indoor plumbing for granted now, but back then indoor plumbing was a luxury. Question number 7. What is an aqueduct? An aqueduct is a channel that carries water. In Rome, stone aqueducts brought abundant supplies of water into the city from the surrounding hills. And remember, when they were building these, they didn't have the technology that we have today. This technology is really incredible for the time period they were in. Question number 8, describe the public baths of Rome. The public baths of Rome were elaborate structures which held walls covered with marble and mosaics and water flowing from silver taps into marble basins. The baths, the center of social life, were open to all for a tiny admission free. So kind of think of a big pool area, but definitely not as sanitary. They didn't have chlorine and things like we do now. So definitely not as sanitary, but without indoor plumbing, this was an area for them to bathe. This was a gathering area. This was an area for them to cool down. So it was a very social place to be. Question number 9. Why did Caesar Augustus want Virgil to compose a story about the founding of Rome? Caesar Augustus thought the ancient legend of Romulus and Remus suckled by a she-wolf was not grand enough for Rome. He wanted an epic poem to rival the Iliad and the Odyssey. And if you remember correctly, Homer is the one who wrote the Iliad and the Odyssey. Question number 10. What did Virgil think a hero should exemplify? Virgil believed the hero should exemplify all the old Roman virtues: duty, honor, and respect for paterfamilias. Important vocabulary. So an aqueduct is that channel that carries abundant supplies of water into the city from the surrounding hills. Bread and circuses are free rations of food and entertainment. Circus Maximus is that U-shaped structure enclosing long racetracks where the empire's finest charioteers competed against each other in their two-wheeled chariots, which chariots were like a cart. And then Virgil wrote the Aeneid and is considered one of Rome's greatest poets. So again, I can't stress enough how important it is to complete your reading, pages 381 to 391 in your Human Odyssey book. That will tie everything together. And then here we come to our quote section. This is from Confucius the Analects. I watched him making progress, but I did not see him realize his capacity to the full. What a pity. And that was again said by Confucius. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please remember the ultimate list: get more sleep, drink more water, get more exercise, read more, get more organized, explore more, relax more, have more patience, forget doing more. Just try your best. Have an amazing day.